Well, guys, I saw the movie Civil War this weekend, and it was intense. This film follows a group of photographic journalists on their way to D.C. to interview the president one last time, and to capture his final moments before the inevitable takeover of the Capitol and the White House by rebel forces. Kirsten Dunst plays Lee Miller, a renowned war photographer who has seen her fair share of violence, atrocities, and chaos, and as a result has become numb to the heartbreaking nature of human violence. The pain and suffering of others, even those of her fellow countrymen and women, have now only become subjects in her photographs. Joel, played by Wagner Moura, is an adrenaline junkie who seeks out the most dangerous situations. He actively pursues the most violent locations in order to gain a thrill and excitement from the action. Kaylee Spaney plays Jessie, a young aspiring war photographer who looks up to Lee Miller and wants to become just like her. Sammy, Stephen McKinley Henderson's character, was always the wise one, always trying to keep the character safe, keep the group safe as a whole, and try to ward them off from dangerous situations and dangerous territories where they shouldn't be in. But of course, a lot of the times they never heeded those warnings because they needed the perfect shot. They needed the perfect subject. They needed to be in the action, in the moment, to achieve their goals, basically.
But here we are.
There are a lot of shocking and heartbreaking moments in this film, and within those heartbreaking moments, silence is used in order to have the audience sit with a sense of uneasiness, to have them grapple with their humanity and question whether or not they actually want something like this to happen. One of the most terrifying scenes in this film involved Jesse Plemons. He was terrifying, he was shocking, he commanded the scene. He had you sitting on the edge of your seat, literally the entire time. And you could not breathe. The oxygen was just left your body. And it was so shocking the way he acted it out, the way he did it, the way these characters interacted with him. It was a phenomenal performance, and I guarantee you will be shocked as well.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here.
What?
Well, you're American, okay?
Okay. What kind of American are you? You don't know?
Kirsten Dunst and Kaylee Spaney's characters end up swapping places by the end of the movie, and you really get a sense of how this journey has really impacted them. And I find it very fascinating to see how these different situations that they're put in, the different emotions that they go through, actually make them change their perspectives over time. This film takes no sides, as many have noted before. It gives no rhyme or reason as to why this conflict has begun in the first place. It simply wants you to stay in the moment and experience the heartbreak, the sorrow, the distress, the chaos, the violence, the raw nature of war and violence in its purest form, and to get you to understand the importance of why something like this should never happen in the first place. There's a scene in the movie which was shown in the trailer where the group go into a town which is like stepping into another world, another time and space. And in this town, people are walking their dogs, people are going shopping, people are jogging around the neighborhood, and everything looks like it is at peace and it's a stable and secure place to be, place to live. When Joel asks the store clerk whether or not she's aware that there's a civil war going on, she says that they like to stay out of the conflict. They like to remain relatively unseen and hidden from the outside world in order to keep and maintain a sense of security, a sense of peace and normalcy in their neighborhood, in their little town.
I know, all across America.
We just try to stay out.
However, the group do return into the war-torn country where their humanity, their principles, and their morals are tested, and they have to ask themselves ultimately, was it worth it? I think this film did a great job of portraying the horrors of war, division, and hatred, and how continuing down the current path that we're on could lead us to a scenario that we don't want to be in. I think this film is very important for a lot of people to see, because I don't think a lot of people understand the consequences of their actions, the consequences of war, of violence, of hatred and division, and that we as a country, we as a society, we as a species need to learn how to communicate with each other. I believe if people truly understood where all this would lead, they would rethink their motives and do everything in their power to avoid that end and become better human beings for it. But overall, guys, I really enjoyed this film. It shows you the human condition. It shows you the cost of warfare, violence, and hatred, and made you question your own humanity, made you think twice about whether this path that we're currently on is the one that you are comfortable with, one that you agree with, one that you are willing to accept for you, yourself, and your children and your future generations. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and ring the bell notifications when I upload new content, and leave your thoughts and opinions down below. This has been Reels and Refreshments, and I'll catch you later.